It was a bad day in the NBA yesterday, and one that could lead to the departure of Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Milwaukee Bucks in the wake of Damian Lillard's unfortunate injury. We're going to talk about that, but first, a blown call may have ended a team's season. The Detroit Pistons on the wrong end of a missed call by the officials and now see themselves down 3-1 to the New York Knicks. Let's take a look at what's going on. Quick reminder, everybody, do subscribe right here to the channel. There it is. Tim Hardaway Jr. takes the three, down one with seconds left. Clearly fouled. Here it is again by Josh Hart. Clearly fouled Tim Hardaway Jr. and Detroit coach J.B. Bickerstaff, their coaching staff, irate. And rightfully so. It was a badly missed call, and now the Pistons find themselves down 3-1. Should have been Tim Hardaway Jr. going to the line with a chance to win the game. 3 free throws, and he would need to score 2 to win. 1 to tie. Pretty good chance that obviously would have happened. After the game, the referees admitted they made a mistake. Said, we messed up. Said during the live play, it was judged that Josh Hart made a legal defensive play. And after the post-game review, we observed that Hart makes body contact that is more than marginal contact, the favorite phrase of officials these days. And a foul should have been called. Yeah, no kidding. Especially when you've got an official right there looking at it, watching the play happen in the lower corner there, just feet away from the foul, and didn't call it. After the game, I mean, Josh Hart himself even admitted that he fouled him. Josh Hart says after the game, did I make contact? Yeah, I made contact. He said after the pool report was released, he said, was it legal? I don't know. We'll see in the last 2-minute report. Well, the referees had already admitted that it was not. And Tim Hardaway Jr. said, you guys saw it blatant. You know, this, I think, just underscores the frustration with officiating. And it's a very, very difficult job. But officiating in the NBA way too often becomes a part of the spotlight, and sometimes all of the spotlight, as it was in the finish of Pistons Knicks. You never want to see a game, any game, let alone a playoff game, decided by a miss call by the officials or the incorrect call by the officials. And it's already happened too many times in these playoffs. And now Detroit, who have had an incredible season, a great season compared to where they were just last year, and now their season may be coming to an end because an official made a mistake on the final possession, like a blatant error that should never get made. That's hard to sit with, certainly for fans. And then the question becomes, well, what happens with the officials? What does that review process look like? I do think, in terms of officials' performance, I do think that's something that the league needs to be more transparent with. But of course, the even more tragic situation that occurred yesterday, the injury to Damian Lillard, and then what this could mean for the Bucks franchise moving forward. This could be, franchise changing. This could change their entire future. What just happened to Damian Lillard? We'll get into that next. The NBA playoffs are right around the corner, and there's nothing like seeing a playoff game in person. That's why I'm thrilled to have SeatGeek as the sponsor of this video. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are over 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more. Right now, you can get tickets to the MLB season, and the NBA playoffs are right around the corner. And I love going to live events using SeatGeek. For me, it's about the value. SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. So you look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. Plus, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. I love that. Takes all of the worry out of buying tickets. And you know I came through for you guys. Use our code Bulletin10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code Bulletin10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Again, big shout out to SeatGeek. Super thrilled to have them on as a sponsor for the Basketball Bulletin. Thank you again to our sponsor, SeatGeek. They do a phenomenal job. Again, check out that link in the description down below. Now, the Milwaukee Bucks, Damian Lillard, torn Achilles. It is confirmed to be a torn Achilles now. Everybody knew it at the time, though. Very, very clear with things like this. Even when it's just suspected, it's going to result in a torn Achilles. Not not good, obviously, for the career of Damian Lillard. I mean, he's going to be turning 35 in July. The unfortunate reality is this may be the last we've seen of Dame time, at least as we know him in the NBA. Now, Chris Haynes did report, who is close with Damian Lillard, that Lillard is motivated on attacking his rehab and returning to form. He's in good spirits. So that's good news, right? That's certainly great news, but it is going to be an uphill climb. And then who knows if Dame will ever get back to being Damian Lillard. That's obviously truly unfortunate whenever you see an injury like this happen to an athlete, especially given what he had just overcome with the blood clot situation, to recovering from that in record time, to then tearing his Achilles in round one of the playoffs. Absolutely brutal. But perhaps even more difficult now is what happens with the Bucks moving forward. So you look, Damian Lillard, he's under contract next year, $54.1 million, and his entire next season is now in doubt. Is there a chance he comes back towards the end of the season? Maybe, but it's very much in jeopardy. Very unclear whether or not he would actually be able to play in next season. So that's first and foremost. You're probably looking at a whole year of paying Damian Lillard. He's not going to play. And then the next season, he's got a player option. Well, he's certainly picking that up now. He's going to have to prove that he can bounce back and pick up that player option for $58 million the following season. But the bigger question around the Bucks, you look at this team, there's not much flexibility. Brook Lopez is becoming a free agent. They have to make a decision on him. What do they want to do there? There's not a lot of movable contracts. Bobby Portis could very well opt out and try to get more money. That's certainly possible with him. You've got decisions to make. What do you do with Taurean Prince? Can you keep him around? Kevin Porter Jr. has done some good things. He's got a player option. Could he just opt out of that? You've got some issues here with your roster, no question, in terms of your flexibility. But the biggest question, what happens with Giannis? What happens with Giannis now? Like, we've already been having the conversation about whether or not, as presently constructed, Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to look at this roster and he's going to say, you know what? I can't win. I can't win with this group. And then he has to make the difficult choice. He has to make the difficult choice of, do I stay so I can say I played my entire career with one franchise, which there's a inherent nobility to that because it's so rare in today's NBA. We think about Dirk, we think about Kobe, Dame for a while. It looked like he was going to stay in Portland forever. It's so rare to see superstars wind up staying with one team for their entire careers. So there's something special about that. And so there is a real draw, I think, for Giannis to spend his whole career in Milwaukee. But the unfortunate reality is I think Giannis now is going to have to decide, do I want to spend my whole career in Milwaukee or do I want to win? I don't think he can have both. Looking at this roster, especially with no Dame for most likely all of next year, I don't see how this team's going to win. I don't see the moves out there for this team as currently constructed to go into the summer, find deals, get them done, add pieces, and head into next season and say, we're back, baby. I just don't see it. I don't see how that can happen, given the way this roster is currently put together. I think their title window is shut. That's it. Their title window is shut. So you have to have the conversation now with Giannis. What do you want to do? Do you want to stay? Do you want to stay in Milwaukee? And if you do, we're more than happy to have you. We're more than, hey, stay. That'd be great. He's an amazing player. But if Giannis wants to win, probably needs to have that difficult conversation. And perhaps the injury to Damian Lillard is what finally pushes him off the fence, finally pushes him over the edge. And he says, especially without Dame next year, we're going to be middle of the pack at best in the East. And that's if I deal with all the heavy lifting that I have to do all season long. It's just not going to happen. And so if Giannis really feels like he needs to win another title before his career comes to a close, he's 30 already. If he says, I need to win another title, he needs to go somewhere else. And if he has that conversation with Milwaukee, I think if you're Milwaukee, as a thank you for the years of service, you send him where he wants to go, ideally. Of course, you have to worry about yourself. You have to get the best deal that you can. But you have to be willing to send Giannis to a place that's going to give you the assets that you need while giving him a thank you for what he's done, for bringing a championship, and you send him someplace where he would like to go. He has years left under contract that the Bucks really wanted to. They could say, nope, sorry, you're under contract for 2 more years at least, and then a 3rd-year player option, so we're not going to trade you. They could do it, but I don't think it would make sense. I don't think it would make sense. If Giannis says, I would like to be moved, okay. Start the bidding. And don't do what the Mavs did. Don't just negotiate with one team, because you know what? 29 teams will be lining up to, at the very least, check in on the price for Giannis. And I would assume there'll be a dozen teams at least to put real offers, like real significant, we're going after this deal offers on the table for Giannis. So if the Bucks can find the right deal, maybe they pivot towards the future and they get something done there. If I'm Milwaukee, I very much would look at that path as a real possibility, depending on what Giannis says. If Giannis says, I want out, you do it. You do it if you're Milwaukee, because you're stuck right now. And you know the team's not going to be good enough. And Giannis is great, but you could get a jump start on tearing it down and rebuilding. Damian Lillard is gone this next year. And then you've got a $58 million expiring contract the year after. And then you see what you can do with that. But you get what you can for Giannis. Maybe you try to look at some other moves as well and see what you can do with some of these other players. Maybe Kyle Kuzma has some value or something. You can flip him. Some things you can do there. And you look to pivot towards the future. It's crazy how quickly the window closes on championship windows. But pretty clear. That's what's happening here for Milwaukee. So now, if Giannis looks around and he's doing the Will Smith in the empty room meme, well, maybe it's time. Maybe it's really time. And maybe not only will this be the summer of Kevin Durant trades, not only will this be the summer of Zion Williamson trades, but this very well may wind up being a Giannis trade summer. And again, I think this Lillard injury, this might be the last straw. It's unfortunate, but the upside is I think the Bucks can get an incredible haul for Giannis and can restart things with a bright future if they can get the right pieces back in the deal. Everybody give me your thoughts. What teams should be interested in Giannis? What teams specifically should really go after him? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Till next time, see ya and stay safe.